Okay, so by now you should have everything all installed there. So you can see that my submodule has now finished. Usually that's the longest part of getting that done because there are so many files obviously within WordPress. It's over 1,000, so it's a fair bit to go and grab. So we've now got our WP_development folder, which I asked for it to be named when I did the clone. And if we now open it up and have a look, we've got our Git, we've got our Git ignore, we've got htaccess. Here's our content folder with our must-use plugins, our plugins and themes. We've got an uploads file there that's sim-linked to another folder, and we can go through it in just a tick. We've got our index, we've got this local config file here and a WP config, and if we open up the WP, here's all our core WordPress files. Okay, so let's open up the WP config here and have a quick look. It's going to look a little bit different from what you're probably used to with a config file. And the first thing you're going to notice straight away from, say, line 5 down to line 14, it's looking for a file called local-config.php. So when you're in your local environment, and if it finds this particular file, which we're going to create in a moment using that sample, it's going to detect that we are in a local environment, and it's going to only include this local config, and that's where our local database details are going to be stored. If it doesn't find the local config file, it's then going to assume that we're not on a local desktop environment or laptop environment, and it's going to use this the database details for our production or our live environment. Now, how does it know that that file exists or doesn't exist? It's actually in our git ignore file here. So you'll see we've got a shared folder which we'll create soon, and local-config.php is ignored when we go to push any changes back into our repository. Okay, it's also, you might see here that it's also ignoring our content upgrades. So if we do any WordPress upgrades on our local environment, it's not going to, any file changes, it's not going to ask us to commit them and push them through to our repository. So what we're going to do is we're now going to create a local config PHP file. So with this one, I'm actually going to duplicate it so that I still got that original copy just in case. And I'm now just going to rename this to local-config.php. So let's open this up, and it's just a simple config for our database. So let's put in our database name, our user and password, and that is all done. Okay, so the next thing we want to do with our WP config is we want to change this WP content URL, because at the moment it's looking for a root directory and the folder content, and we need to change that to our or add in our subfolders. So we're going to put in a / and WP_development. Yeah, I'm spelling that right, yep. Okay, cool. So we then save that. Now, something that I found whilst I was using this particular, and I'm not sure if it's just, my PHP that's a little bit odd, but I found that I needed to increase the memory, amount of memory that can be consumed by PHP. So there is a little WordPress define that you can add in, and I'll just add that in just now. Okay, so you've got this define WP_memory_limit, and you add that value there. Okay, so that's all done there. The other thing you can change if you need to before we do the installation is that you do this the table prefix, so you can actually change that. So I'm going to put that to WPD for WordPress development, whatever. Alright, so we save all of that, and that's all done, and we can now, you can probably close them down if you want to, and in the next video what we'll do is we'll go through the installation process. I know you guys have probably installed WordPress many times, but there's a small little trick to the installation. Okay, so I will see you in the very next video. Okay, bye.